At this point, let's call in the man who helped clean the so-called dirtiest river in Taguig. All right. Thank you for talking to us here on Afternoon Delight, Australian entrepreneur, Mr. Mike Smith. Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. I'm Lourd. This is Denise.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon. Great to be with you.
Denise?
Mike, okay, let's start off with this. You're with a company called Zero Co. Briefly, can you tell us more about it, how it came to be?
Yeah, so we're an Australian company that makes personal care and home cleaning products. So things that you use every day at home, like laundry liquid and hand wash and shampoo. And then we use the proceeds from the sale of our products to do ocean cleanups. So we've been doing cleanups all around the world for about 3 years now. And over the last 6 months, we've been really focusing in on the Philippines. And we've done 7 cleanups in the Philippines now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You are what you throw, that's a saying goes. And you can tell us a lot about a society by what you can find in their dumpsters. So what was the most common trash item that you found in rivers?
I have found some very unusual items, some of which I probably can't mention on television.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
But we found bottles, we find nappies, we find packets, lots of little sachets from like laundry detergent and those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. I know that the eco-consciousness is a big thing in Australia, but what about countries that have to, rely on single-serve items? That's a major source of pollution.
Yeah, look, it's a really tricky issue all around the world, right? And it's particularly tricky in the Philippines because there's lots of people. There's not a lot of land mass, there's lots of rivers and there's lots of rainfall. And so when everything's packaged in single-use plastic and it rains a lot of that single-use plastic ends up in the river and then it ends up in the ocean. So look, it's a really tricky problem, but we believe that, if we all work together, we all do our little bit, we all think about buying and using a little bit less single-use plastic, and then we all get involved in cleanup activities and we can solve this problem all around the world. And it's not just a problem in the Philippines, it's a problem here in Australia, it's a problem all around the world. And one of the things I say to people is we only have one planet and one ocean and we all share it. So we're all responsible for the problem, right?
Mike, we know that Zero Co, together with the volunteers, cleaned up Taguig River, but who else were involved and why was this particular river chosen to begin with?
Yeah, so we've been working with lots of different local councils throughout the Philippines. We've been working closely with the DENR. So it's been a real group effort from local government, federal government, volunteer organisations. We've had the Masons come down and join us. We've had local barangays get involved. We've had volunteers from local communities. And we employ 10 Filipinos ourselves now as part of the Zero Co cleanup crew. So, it's everyone working together, which is really great. And then in terms of why we selected this river, we worked closely with the DENR and they had identified this as a location that needed cleaning. And so they said, why don't you guys come and help? And we all got together and we spent 10 days there, or 15 days there actually, removing, all this rubbish from the river. It was about 8 million water bottles worth of waste that we pulled out of the river.
Okay, sorry, just going back to the 8 million bottles, where does that go?
Yeah, so we're working with the Manila local council to remove the rubbish, collect the rubbish, and then it goes to the various waste management facilities within Manila.
Okay, let's talk about the impact of the river cleanup to overall the objective of trashing the environment.
Yeah, well, look, the thing for us is to solve this global waste problem, there's 2 things we have to do. First of all, we have to stop buying and using and throwing away single-use plastic, which is what my business aims to do, Zero Co. We make waste-free products for your household. And then the second thing we have to do is work out a way to clean up all the rubbish that's made its way into the river, because whilst it's in the river in Taguig, it's a local problem for the Taguig community, but when it rains, it goes to the next, the next council, the next province, the next township, then it goes into the ocean, then it goes to another country, and it becomes a global problem. So, we're trying to stop the rubbish at its source. We're actually about to launch some of our zero waste products in the Philippines very, very soon to help Filipinos use less single-use plastic at home, which is super exciting. And then we've got to go and stop all the rubbish in the rivers before it gets in the ocean. Because once it gets in the ocean, it gets eaten by fish. Then you guys eat the fish. Then you end up with plastics in your stomach. which is not good for you. And I'm sure you guys don't want to eat plastic. I don't want to eat plastic. I don't think anyone wants to eat plastic.
Yeah. Mr. Mike, are river cleanup activities like this sustainable? Are they sustainable activities?
Yeah, totally. Well, look, I hope that one day we reach a point where we don't have to do ocean cleanup or river cleanups anymore because we've solved the problem. But until that day comes, we'll keep getting in the river. We'll keep putting our dry suits on and doing the dirty work to clean the rivers up.
All right. Any tips or like a post-cleanup washing up tips for anyone who has to undertake such an activity?
Well, look, I think the thing is that there's nothing special about me. I'm just a regular guy that decided one day I wanted to see less rubbish in the world. And so it's up to everyone to get involved. And you can get involved. You can go down to your local river and, get some gloves and get some gum boots and jump in and start cleaning yourself. It's not up to somebody else to do it. It's up to all of us to do it. And you don't need to be a special individual. You just need to care about the planet and want to do something about it. So that's the advice I'd give. Go and find your local river that's dirty and pull some rubbish out of it.
Is it easier or harder to get a date when after the cleanup, let's say, even if you've used a special kind of soap to disinfect, etc.?
Yeah. Look, it's pretty stinky in those rivers. I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretty gross. So we make sure that we fully disinfect ourselves after getting out of the river, and then we shower very well every night before going to bed.
Is that like a conversation starter, though?
No, but
Has it been?
Eco River,
What do you do today? Oh, I was in a river cleaning up rubbish.
but river warriors are the sexiest. Remember that, Denise.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Thank you, good sir.
Mike, what's the plan, though? Where to next?
We're actually coming back to the Philippines. I'm in Australia at the moment, but we're coming back to the Philippines in July. It's about 4 weeks' time, where we've got our local team on the ground at the moment scouting for some locations. So, yeah, we'll be back. Well, I'll be back in the Philippines in a couple of weeks with our Filipino team to do our next cleanup.
All right. On that note, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Mike Smith.